Marshall Peak, beginner hang gliding flight. We've already done a pre-flight of the glider, and we're into harness correctly. Little look, parachute pins are on. Now what we're going to do is pick a launch cycle that's hopefully free of traffic and friendly conditions to the point to where we can get away from the hill. We want to get away from the hill. Looks all right to me. Remember, launch begins with a step. All right, very nice. So what you're going to do is continue flying straight away from the launch, so you get a little bit of ways. Then you're going to have to worry about getting in your harness unless you have a knee hanger. So remember, your first priority is fly the glider. Fly the glider first and foremost. Okay, we're in the harness. Hey, good. So what we're going to do now is, now that we're flying, we're safely away from the terrain, we're going to execute a couple of turns to dial into the roll rate of the glider. So like always, look left, turn left, roll out, look right, turn right. Very nice. Remember, a light touch. Light touch. We're going to continue flying out. Now that we're well away from the terrain, we're going to check, make sure we're not flying too fast, because you can often be nervous when you're on your first couple of flights. I'm just going to make sure the grip is light, let the bar go almost all the way, and just keep a little tiny bit of pressure on it. Let the glider fly. Remember, if you find yourself flying fast and you're doing an oscillating left, right, left, right, left, right, you can't seem to keep the glider flying straight, it's probably a PIO, in which case the solution is let the glider slow down, ease the bar out, fly a little bit slower, and it should dampen itself right out. So we're flying straight out. What we're going to do is head towards the cloud complex here, keeping well above the terrain, of course. Begin a series of S-turns back and forth until we're low enough to descend into the pattern. Set up our approach. Landing at Andy Jackson International Airport. This turnout right in front of us, that's the 750. There's some lift. Keep several hundred feet away from the hill. At least a couple hundred anyway. Check for traffic. There's a few paragliders right over there. Looks like we'll be on the ground well before them. So if you're doing a real late day flight and you find that somebody you know, you're getting low like we are here, and somebody's at your similar altitude as you, you're probably going to find that it's pretty likely that they're going to be landing about the same time as you. So if they're a hang glider, they're going to be also landing on the same side of the field as you. So what you can do is you can seize the opportunity to put some vertical separation between you two by adding some speed and flying faster, which will give you a higher sink rate and provide some vertical separation, which is also a separation in time, which will let you land at two different times. And also, if it looks like, you know, you're going to land at the same time as somebody else or close to it, pick a side, left or right, and land on one side or the other, and give the pilot behind you a lot of room to have a good choice of a place to land. So we're here's a 750 right there. We're still above it. Just going to do a series of S turns now, back and forth, east-west, keeping in mind that the lower we get, the closer we're going to stay to the landing area, keeping a comfortable glide to our landing area. You don't want to get low and downwind from the landing field and have to try to swim upstream to get back on the grass. Better to stay close, land on the field where it's a lot safer than landing out in the middle of nowhere, out in the relief and the bushes where you never know what's going to happen. So what we're going to try to do, we're still above the 750, good. We're going to try to be heading Hawk. We're going to be trying to be heading eastbound, which is this way, at an altitude above the 400-foot launches here, yet below the 750 launch. Behind this line of trees here, you can also see our cistern, our landmark, our turn point for heading upwind. Yeah, you may find it's buoyant along these bluffs here, but be patient. You'll eventually get down to the right altitude, and everything will take care of itself. We're getting close to the altitude of the 750. This is about as far as you really want to be heading to the west when you're getting low like this. Yeah, we're encountering some lift, so once again we'll be patient, letting the glider fly, not forcing it to fly fast, because that can cause some problems for you too. Best just let the glider fly. If you have to, keep a little bit of speed up the closer you get to the bottom, so the turbulence doesn't have a big effect on you. Mighty San Andreas Fault right here. Right there is our cisterns, and we're going to turn around, transitioning from eastbound to southbound towards the university, our upwind leg. Okay, here we are. We're a pretty good height right here. The 400-foot launch on our left, right over, flying pretty close to right over the top of the pond. Straight away. There's our cisterns right there. Right there. We're going to fly just beyond those things, and then as soon as we round them, we're going to aim to the south towards the university. We turn here so that we can see the slope indicator directly over our right shoulder. Yeah, we're rounding the cisterns. We're going to keep a aim point for those two white tanks over there. That's a pretty good thing to aim for while you're heading upwind. Look, the slope indicator right below us, right there. A white stick, red and white sign. Looks like it's gotten turned a little bit in the wind, but still we'll be able to see it. Now that we're heading upwind, we're going to go ahead and kick your feet out of the harness. Transition to upright. Get on your uprights in the landing position. Hands kind of low where you can move the glider well. Now we're still pretty high. The white stick at the top of the white. Don't really want to get too far away from the end of the landing field. So if you find you're still pretty high, we can do like an S-turn kind of a thing. Yeah, that looks pretty good right there. I'm going to aim back towards the slope indicator. Yeah. See that our right on the mark, taking our base leg over here towards the training hill. Excellent. We're in position A. Now, right here, hopefully you've been at this training hill before. So we turn to final, and then it's a matter of adding speed to the round out. Speed. Round out, 4 feet off the ground, 0 bar pressure, hands up and flare. Easy game. Hey, so you've landed well, but look, it's not over yet. So now your responsibility is to make sure that if somebody else is landing right behind you, that you leave the field open for them. Or if they are like right, landing is within like a very short period of time, you want to stay put so that they can count on you as a non-moving obstacle. So what I like to do is look to the left, look at the approach pattern. I don't see anybody in downwind. I just lean the glider forward. Look, nobody on base leg. Okay, we can walk it over to landing area and tear it down and get ready for our next flight. Well done.